I'd like to, as Chris said, thank you, Chris, um, mention about this evening being dedicated to my beloved mother, who actually passed October 14, and I think I was going to say I'm in an altered state, but I don't think I am. I'm sort of, I feel very grounded, but also very in flight. I've been with her for a year, off and on. She lived in Canada, and I've sort of seen the maybe possibility of her departure quite a few times. And I was, my brother lives in California, so I was sort of physically the only person, and we became very close. We resolved any kind of conflicts that I had with her as a child. And that to me was the biggest transformative experience of my life, that I actually fell in love with my mother, with whom I had many issues. They broke away and I surrendered, and that changed my life. So when the physical departure happened, it was, I have no words, but I must say that I was being chiseled towards this moment. And I wrote this poem for her in '97, and she had this in her bedroom, and she would read this every night before she went to bed. And if I was there, she would ask me to read it to her. So at the funeral ceremony, I read it, and also at the next day when we had the ceremony, and I thought I would start the evening reading it to you. It's called Midnight. I see my mother's quivering face, laced in thunder, lightning, and cracked sky. Her trembling soul, awake and strong. Her gentle body, aged and long. Her skin so soft, like a dove in flight. My mother's fragileness opens my strengths. Her eyes like arrows in awakened space. My mother rounded, aged and young. Her skin like bark, textured and strong. I love her immensity. I love her fragility. Her feet so clean, her being so lean. My mother breaking wolves. I wrote this in '97. I didn't know my production company was going to be Wolf Woman Productions. My mother merging threads, her boundaries open, open. I count each grain of sacred ash. She holds my leaf and swallows my grief. My mother, I love her. My mother, I breathe her. My mother, I am her.